Madchild from Swollen Members, and you're at Popularity.
How has your outlook on life in general changed since becoming sober?
It's completely different. It's literally like coming from a nightmare to a dream come true, really. Like, it's gotten to that point. And, it was a long ride. The first year of sobriety was tough. It was a pretty lonely, tough, place to come back to and face reality. I had to sort of walk away from 99% of the people I knew, which, I knew was the right thing to do, and I just had to save my own life. So the first year was very lonely and real depressing, to be honest with you. It was a pretty dark time, but I knew that I was on the right track, and just to stick with it and life would get better. And the second year was so much better. And then the last 6 months of my sobriety has really, truly been amazing. Like, I'm just, honestly, I'm the happiest I've been easily in 10 years, if not ever.
How would you say that it's changed your approach to music? Has it changed it at all?
Well, some of the content's different, but I think being sober, the thing is, a lot of addicts, when they're not addicted to something negative, become addicted to something positive. So I'm a workaholic again, which is, part of the reason why Swollen Members had success in the first half of 2000 to 2006. We had a lot of success because I was a workaholic. I always pushed the group, and the group was awesome, and everybody in the group worked super hard. So now being sober again, my whole life is music and my family and my close, tight-knit group of friends, right? My dogs, my family. So besides that, I'm working 14 hours a day. So I think I'm extremely enjoying what I'm doing. I'm enjoying the freedom of having a solo career as well as being in Swollen Members. I'm enjoying the excitement of something new, something that I've always wanted to do, building a new brand, as well as rebuilding the brand of Swollen Members and Battle Axe. So it's just a really exciting time. It's a challenge. And literally, with the dynamics of the way music business is today and the internet, I'm watching rewards happen I'm experiencing rewards happening on a daily and weekly basis.
What expectations did you go in with when creating Dope Sick?
I was hopeful. I was hopeful that it would be as well received as a Swollen Members record. I wasn't counting on it, but I was hoping for it, and I was extremely honored that it was. It debuted the number 3 record in the country in Canada, and it did well. It did very well on an independent level. I mean, we sold like 25,000 copies so far, and at a time where music is free, to sell 25,000 copies of an album, being an independent record, is definitely, from what I understand, a great accomplishment. Mm-hmm. So I'm super honored, super happy. I just had a show at the Commodore on Friday. It was one of the best nights of my life. It was my first Live Nation Monster Energy show as a solo artist. My first solo show at the Commodore, so it was like quite a monumental night for me. So still kind of floating from that. It was pretty monumental evening for me.
What artistic growth do you feel that you've experienced throughout the creation of the album to now?
Sort of. It's funny that you say that, and it's kind of going to be a weird answer maybe, but I think that I was thinking about Bruce Lee today, and I was thinking about how my style has progressed almost to that same concept of no rules and just freedom. Like, I feel like I've gotten to a point where I'm the best that I am at what I do so far in my life. I'm the best that I've been. And I can get really intricate with rhyme schemes and real mathematical with the complexity of the rhyme schemes and patterns. My word, I focus on the fierceness of my words, but I also have grown enough and I'm mature enough now to know when to let the verse breathe. And what I mean by that is I might, if it's a 1, 2, 3, 4 count, I might let the 1 and the 2 breathe before I come in on a line. Mm-hmm. So come in halfway through, and I know, like, it doesn't have to just be like blah, 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 blah. I could do that for 4 or 6 or 8 lines, but then I can also let it breathe and then dumb it down, and not dumb down or water down my lyrics or the potency of what I'm saying or the fierceness of the words, but I can dumb it down as far as simplifying the sort of how many words I put into each line. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
You asked.
No, that makes total sense.
Okay.
What would you say was the hardest track on the album to create?
The hardest track. I probably put the most work into Devil's Reject because that's a very sort of complex rhyme schemes, and I think I spent a lot of time writing those 3 verses. Let's see. Yeah, I'd say I don't think any of them were necessarily hard, but I spent the most time on Devil's Reject, I think.
Is there a song on the album that maybe you're the most proud of?
I'm really proud of Grenade Launcher, and I'm really proud of what's come from that. Slane is featured on that album along with Prevail, my partner with Swollen Members, and Slane and I are actually working on an album as well now, and I'm really excited about that project. Slane's one of my favorite rappers. He's also a super dope actor in movies like The Town and Gone Baby Gone and Killing Me Softly with Brad Pitt. So I'm real proud to be working with him and getting to know him as a friend. I feel like I'm working with someone who's pushing my limits and pushing me to get better, which is a nice experience. Of course, Prev and I always push each other as well. But it's nice to be in another creative situation like that. And I'm really proud of that song, the way it turned out. I'm really proud of Judgment Day as well. I'm proud that I got to work with Chin and Sophia, and they gave me the hook and beat when it was already done, and I literally wrote those rhymes in like 10 minutes because it just poured out of me. I just thought about what the concept was about, and it poured out of me, and I feel like the message really translates in that song. It's not like a crazy lyrical song, but I think that it paints a picture that people can relate to, and I think it goes well with my story of recovery, so I'm proud of that one too.
What about Runaway? That's one song that really stuck out to me.
Yeah, no, that's a Rob the Viking beat, and you're right. Sorry, it was off the top of my head, but you're right. I probably spent a lot of time, as much time on Runaway as I did on Devil's Reject, so I'll have to agree with you on that.
Mm-hmm. What allowed you to be so open with your story? Did you find it difficult, or was it just really more, I guess, therapeutic?
It's very therapeutic, and when I realized that when I started talking about it, how many people, fans, supporters, family, friends, which I call our fans, our family and friends, started coming up to me at shows and sharing their stories and sharing how me being open and talking about my addiction has helped them to better their lives or make better decisions or get on a more positive path. I realized that I had a responsibility, which has not only helped me to stay sober, but it helped me become more and more open about my addiction because I realized it was helping others. And I think it's a real honor to be given that opportunity. And I'm very, very, very thankful. I'm not trying to sound corny, but like from my heart, I'm real, real thankful.
What's one thing you feel you can do now that you felt you were held back from doing while you were battling your addiction?
Succeed, improve, be happy, remember things, enjoy the moment, and I'm more organized. I'm more professional. I'm on time. I work harder. I do more shows. I record more songs. I write more rhymes. I have more fun. It's just all around better. I just honestly, the life that I was living before, what I thought was cool, I had a lot of moments of clarity and realization since I quit drugs and drinking, and basically I had it all backwards for the majority of my life, and all the things that I glorified and thought were romantic and cool, and that I glorified, and things that I talked about, I just realized was a bunch of bullshit. And I'm not just talking about drugs. I'm talking about the lifestyle I was living and the lifestyle that I was portraying. It was a bunch of bullshit. There's nothing cool about victimizing. There's nothing cool about bullying. There's nothing cool about guns or shooting people or going to jail or doing drugs or being a tough guy. It's all a bunch of fucking crap. And pardon my language, but it's all a bunch of crap. And this world needs more love injected into it. And if I can do it in a way that has edge and be myself and be honest and be truthful, and people know where I came from and the life that I lived, and if I can share that there's nothing wrong with the word love and there's nothing wrong with positivity, and it is that way to go, and you're missing out on life if you don't open up your heart and your mind to it, then that's great. And that's not like my only mission in life. My mission in life is become the best MC I can be, and to enjoy life and walk on a good path. But it's definitely a bonus that it just happened organically. It wasn't something that I planned out was going to happen, and I didn't think, oh, this is the way it's going to go down. It just sort of happened, but I'm very happy with the result.
At this point, what do you value most about this whole experience in music?
Well, it saved my life. Hip-hop literally saved my life. Simple as that. So I treat hip-hop a lot better than I did before. And there was times in my life where I sort of had one foot in and one foot out and was looking for other things and drawn to other things in life and other subcultures and other ways of living. And now I'm all in. I always loved hip-hop, and I was always a part of it, but I'm fully all the way in now, like I was when I was younger, and I just am comfortable in my own skin, and I'm comfortable with what I represent, and I no longer have a desire to see what else is out there in the world. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
This is who I am, and this is what I do, and I'm going to do my very, very best job at it. Simple as that. I'm going to do my very best.
Looking back at the Dope Sick tour, what are your thoughts? The response and whatnot that you got?
Wow, just like overwhelmed. I did 21 shows across the country. The first show was at the Commodore, and the last show was at the Commodore. I did 21 shows across the country with Tech Nine and Chris Calico. Came home for 3 weeks and then went right back across the country to do 44 more shows headlining. I was very concerned that people were going to be like, oh, we already just saw them or whatever, and the rooms would only be like half full. But the majority of the shows were sold out, and I was so overwhelmed and so happy and so honored by that. I really felt like that was a reward in life. And also doing a number of all ages shows and seeing 14 and 15-year-old kids, like this next new generation, like knowing the words to my songs and being like hip to what I'm doing, that's a very good feeling of accomplishment as well, knowing that I have a youthful enough spirit that the next generation is embracing it. That's pretty awesome.
And any final thoughts? Anything to say to the Raiders of Popularity?
Yeah, absolutely. I want to thank everybody that went out of their way. Well, first of all, thank you to everybody who's taken the time to listen to Dope Sick and listen to my new releases that I'm putting out and checking out videos on YouTube and stuff. But a special thanks to everybody who went out of their way and spent the hard-earned money in this this difficult economic time that we're in, that went out of their way and to support and actually spend money and go find the album and buy it or purchase it on iTunes. That means the world to me, and it does make a difference in my life. It really, really does, because music is a grind now. It's not the same as it was in 2006, and that's cool. You know what I mean? You adapt to the situation and you do your best in it. But I really, really, truly want to thank everybody that spent their hard-earned money and purchased the album, because it does make a difference in my life and in Swollen's life, and I just want everyone to know how much we appreciate it. But we're also grateful to everybody just taking the time to listen to it and making it a part of their playlist.